Hey folks, hey chickadees, how you doing? Welcome to the hen house. We're just getting geared up here, and it's Storm Sunday, and Apex Outlaw finally is back. Doing a little sound checking at the very beginning here. Hear the music a little bit in the background. We'll keep that where it's at for right now. Let me know if you need to jam harder or whatever. Anyway, let's see what we got going on here. All right. So we've got stuff I've been folks are doing armadas because we've got that part of the armada event. I'm gonna go to the smaller one. I managed to get my bigger Stella upgrade a couple pieces. I just need one more piece, but we're gonna need epics in order to do it because that's the stage I'm at. So I've got my coffee. I hope you guys do too. Maybe at different times. So. There we go. All right. Invite the folks over. So we know we've got Apex stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of Apex grinding, those ships. But actually, you know, this ship is going to be the swarm ship. So that going. I'll point out, show you guys some updates. I've pulled the trigger. We're going to Ops 36. So it was like, I don't know. I used an exocomp and got some help. So it's down to like 28 days or something like that from like 37 or something longer than that. All we need now is we're at 1.45 million out of 1.5 million frequency modulators to get that last gun on the Franklin. So that'll be nice. The Vidar is maxed, so I started focusing on the epic ship run as well. So we're gonna camp around 36, get those epic ships built, finish off this Franklin, work towards that Franklin A. I've got that secondary Franklin that I'll probably mess with as well. And we got to focus some more on the Stella stuff too. So let's see here. That would actually be we'll use that as we'll use that for it's a burn crew. We'll put it on the battleship of the secondary Stella for the moment. We'll give it a whirl. I think I'm in this armada here. So I would like to get that refit one. I think that hot rod skin looks actually nice. One I'd consider buying. I went and looked in the store to see if it was there. Didn't really see it because I got a few drops of that skin from before, but not nearly enough to pull the trigger and have it. So I don't know about you guys. I tend to think that once you get a certain distance in, you know, if it's like 100 shards to get the skin, and you've got, I don't know, 40, 50, 60, somewhere in there, you start saying it's not worth to buy it. Even if I would have bought it when I had none, I've got too many now. I feel like I'm wasting them, so I should put the effort in. I don't know. That's where I start to go. I'm wondering about you guys. If you spend it all, or if you ever consider spending, does how many shards you have make a difference and kind of dissuade you, or does it not matter at all? I realized I have epics, so if were there to be epics now tomorrow, I think the thing is we know that there's stuff going on here in this event for tomorrow, where I'm gonna have to run armadas, and the event is 2 days, so that helps. Let's see. But right now, I am trying to get in. Let's call that lag. Well, that one is darn close. There's a lot of lag going on right now, and there's definitely some wasted pieces. Somehow our alliance was able to start the same one twice, and they were like, we couldn't even tell which one was first. By luck, I was in the one that got to fight it, but you know, that kind of crap starts happening. It's no fun. Let's put some Discovery crew on here and jump around, as they say, and knock that out. And just get some people off, because definitely don't want some of these people hiding around there. I was watching the Next Generation episode last night that has debuts Tomalak, so it was I'm like, that looks like my character. So it's just it was a happenstance, kind of, but it was still kind of neat. I don't want PvP. One of these folks is not PvP. They're all PvP. Oh, sweet, lovely Jesus. Come on now. Anyway, we'll go for that. I think we're just jumping around. Let me double check, so it won't matter what the underbelly of the ship has. But, find out. Right. Oof. A little bit of lag this morning. Hello. Elsbeth, you bought Stella right away. I usually buy only Battle Pass, but didn't want to grind for Stella. Yeah, no, Stella, it makes sense. I bought a second Stella in order to promote the Stella in the last few months, and it's made a huge difference. I was thinking also about the skin, and thank you for saying hi in chat. Hello, I hope you're doing well. We're gonna see here, so let me see. Travel, yeah, they're letting me jump all around. I wonder if it's when we're out. No, we're out of an arc, so that theory just went out the window. I was just trying to think about why for a while it was every other time I tried to do this that getting my chat where I can really see it. There you go. I can no, not that way. Aren't you? The OBS being difficult. No. We're gonna do that. All right. Sorry, OBS was proving itself a little like, we're so smart, we know what you want to do, but we're doing exactly what you don't want to do. But anyway, streamer love. Anyway, here we go. But yeah, Elsbeta, I agree. You know, I went ahead. I mean, I earned the Stella when it first came out, so I don't think it was much of an issue for me at that time. You know, I think it was pretty easy to get at that time too. Hey, Charles, nice to see you as well. Thank you for jumping in. Yeah, you can always catch us Sunday mornings on YouTube live. Otherwise, you got to go to Twitch for where I'm live like 3 or 4 more times a week. Although it's later in the day after my work day. So, except on Saturday mornings. It's pretty much this time Saturdays on Twitch, though. So check that stuff out. Here, let me. Here you guys have. And that'll fire off a link for you so it gets through the delay, and there I am. That way you can catch me live anytime. I am live most days. Sometimes it's only for like an hour or two, but after work, or after dinner, that kind of thing, after my work on Pacific time. So, and then Saturday mornings. You know, toddler, so she gets me up early and I'm dead by night. Yeah, well, no, that makes sense. Well, Saturday mornings, you can catch me on Twitch. I was on there yesterday around the same time. And everything, but yes, those little ones will tire you out. Here, so that's one of the nice things about streaming on the weekends and doing some kind of earlier streams as well, because I get to hang out with some of you guys who are it's too late because of my my other stream times, you know, on the weekdays, things like that. So nice. There's a lot of good folks, and then we get some folks from Europe can join in. This is more European friendly. On the Saturday and Sundays. So yeah, check it out. Please do. We have fun over there. We also get to play some. I mean, I have fun here on YouTube, hanging out with you guys too. But we get to play some side games and stuff because they integrate really well with Twitch, so that makes it nice. And we have some fun doing that. Well, get a little bit more music options too, just because of copyright stuff. Oh, and particulars of copyright. Let me see where we are with this. You're on European time, so I appreciate it. Yeah, no problem, Alsbeta. Yeah, you're welcome. So yeah, Saturday mornings around this time. It's right now it's 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. Sometimes I'm live. Sometimes I'm live as early as 9 a.m. Pacific time on Saturdays and Sundays. Just Saturdays Twitch, Sundays YouTube. So this works great, I think, for some folks in Europe, as well as folks on the East Coast and others who are just not able to kind of catch me in my later ones, because I am Pacific time. So when I'm getting on at like as early as like 5:30 p.m. Pacific time after work, maybe 6, that's 6, it's already 9 p.m. Eastern East Coast time, and then middle of the night Europe, that kind of thing. So although Hawaii time there, great. Let's see, East Coast between Philly. Oh, cool. Oh yeah. Now I spent time in Jersey and Philly and all that. So yeah, nice areas and all that. Let's see here. I'm gonna remind myself, because I think I'm practically done here. I just need 100 points so I can just jump home, and we'll put this one to bed. There we go. But yes, when I want to call family back on the East Coast or whatever, especially as my family gets older, I have to like think about how early do they go to bed and how late is it already, just when I've finally gotten out of work, that kind of thing. So vagaries of time zones. All right. So we've got the anomalous phenomena done, which is great. It's nice. They were making it where I was having to go and I couldn't do the travel jump around method to finish it. I'd have to go kill some stuff at least, so it was every other for a while, which I'm not sure what changed. Maybe because I went up a tier on the discovery or something. So I don't really know. But it doesn't matter. So we got that. We got our 2 Stellas we're going to be rocking. We got our Swarm ship. Let's just make sure we actually have full complement. No, we don't. Okay, I don't want that in there. You can be there. 100, 100, 100. And maxed out. Let's see. So we'll start sending that. This one's we're gonna be doing the rinse and repeat quite a bit, because we're doing level 35 Swarm for a while, before we can break into the 32s. So, and my ship's killing about 8, sometimes 9 if I get lucky in a round, and then we rinse and repeat. We're going to be doing rinse and repeat stuff with the Stellas as well. That's going to be a bigger part of our day. Let me just make sure I'm trying to be in as many, my bigger Stella with a Spot Con loadout, so that we can try to hang with some of these armadas, get some points for that. So, and then I gotta figure out, well, let's look and see what else we gotta do. We're just waiting on this next arc. So, following, all signs, we haven't got the notice. My level, it is, well, it's tier 8 and it needs 1 gun. And then it'll be done. So, it is, only at it at level 40 itself, but it's got all just 1 gun away from max. No, hi Monica Luke, good to see you again. No, I want this red Stella skin. I've got a few of the shards, and so I'm trying to participate in the events and get some of those. Yes, 1.5 million modulators exactly. I have 1.45 million modulators, and and then when I get that last bit, I can do that. Hey, yeah, that's right. Great to see everyone here, and appreciate it. So I want that red Stella skin. I was looking to see, I'm like, I know they sell it sometimes, but last gun seemed to take like 4 times as long as the rest. Yeah, the whole tier took forever for me. You know, if you've caught some of my streams, you know, for the last few months, I was kind of hanging out at Ops 34 and trying to catch my Franklin up, catch my Stella up, catch my Vidar up. You know, it's all kind of playing catch up. I'm now Ops 35 and going to I now pulled the trigger on Ops 36. It's in the oven, so you know, we're kind of moving up there. And now I got my Vidar finished, the Franklin is almost done, and the Stellas are moving in a better direction. So it's now about time. I really am going to focus on unlocking and building up those epic ships. So that is part of what we're doing right now. So let's see. So we'll get those tasks done. Take 6 days to build the Franklin. I need to start stockpiling those speed ups. Yeah, I'm out of speed ups right now, or relatively low, so I'm going to need that. I may work on. I have a second Franklin. I may work on building that up a bit more so that when I'm in the 60-day loop, I have I can hit some more stuff and not just having to use some of my other explorers and stuff for swarm activities. That's kind of the idea, but also the speed ups. So. I blew a lot of speed ups in the Sela leaderboard event in order to power through Ops 30, the power from 34 to 35, you know, push through that month, and that took a lot of my build up. So I'll be wanting to do that some more. So we just have nothing special on the daily events. Anomalous is done. Outlaw is really just running those armadas for the skin and then grinding through the hostiles, particularly with the Stellas, and then we'll get in there. Let's see. So it's going to be Swarm and Stella at this point. So this last ship, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do with it. We'll just put... We'll just leave it there. And just kind of go from there. Let's see if we're in this armada. You have the second Franklin too, but I haven't found a free way to get the... Yeah, I do not think there is a free way, to tell you the truth. I had one. I went ahead and bought the Franklin Warp Interlock pack when it was in the store at the time. Because it would help me get that second second Franklin up, but also it was giving some decent other stuff that I think was going to help me at the time. I was in the events I was trying to, leaderboards I was trying to place in. I'm like, if I get this stuff, this will help, and it'll get me ready for that. So that's part of what I was looking at. So I have 2 Stellas, I have 2 Vidars, and I have 2 Franklins. I'm not getting 2 Botany Bays. Yeah. But yeah, it kind of depends. And I don't spend like crazy or anything. I've spent a little more lately on some of these things, like a second Stella, the Franklin locks, and some of that stuff. Let's see, just spending some different things. But just spend a little bit, since I'm spending far less in my other game that I was playing, Marvel Strike Force. I was doing a lot of streaming and video content creation for that, but I moved more fully over and to Star Trek Fleet Command. I was always playing Star Trek Fleet Command, but it was harder for me to stream and put on stream until they got the Scopely ID actually made it better for me. Let's see, let me get over here. Now, I believe on the points, let's see here. Not from Threat from Beyond, sorry. I'm just trying to keep track of my points here. If I can ever click, let's click on the correct one. I hate some of these nested event things. I remember when they weren't nested, and I hated it that way too because it was its own problem. But let's see here. Let's see, Apex Hunter. destroy, eclipse hostiles. It's just destroy. It has nothing to do with hull damage like some of the other events that we'll likely see in the arc or have seen. So it's more about numbers. So I can probably grind a lot. Honestly, I'll go for like littler ones. Let's give it a shot. Let's look. This is not an optimal. All right, yeah, we definitely got lag going on. I'm seeing armadas, pins, different areas. This is you know, a burning crew on the secondary Stella. It's so quick to, you know, look at. So I'm just gonna see how well it does. But if I'm punching down here on these, it might not be that big of a deal. Anyway. So that's better when we're getting points for the hull damage stuff. But let's keep kind of running this stuff in the background. Let's go over and kill our 8 or 9 level 35s here and see what we get. Oh, well, it looks like we might have to look for them. And how is Sunday treating everyone? I hope well. You make sure you've got your coffee or water or Coke or beer or whatever, depending on the time of the zone that you're in and everything. So I'm on coffee right now. So, but yeah, I think having a second Franklin, although it does cost a little bit, is, they're cheap if they're not the Franklin A, and being able to kind of grind through and do some of that, I think might be nice. And especially during that time. So I had already started building it up a little bit. Plus, of course, building up the Franklin when there are, I think in the cow events, when you can actually get points for tearing up and things like that. It's nice. It's not as good as getting points in the faction hunt event when you need to, do less of that. But check out some of my videos on that stuff. I definitely, faction hunt being not my favorite. But I've gotten faster and faster with them. We're doing some speed faction runs when we were doing the last set of faction runs on the Twitch streams and everything, and kind of seeing how quickly I can knock them all out in the evening. Let's see here. And if you're hanging out over here, please consider subscribing to the YouTube over there, as well as giving a follow on Twitch. It's much appreciated, and we're really trying to push. We've cleared the 350 subscriber mark here on YouTube, so we're just trying to push up to 500 and push up eventually to 1,000 and beyond, so that we can start getting more support for the channel. Then ads will start supporting the content, on both streams, and that'll be a really nice thing. So I appreciate all your help with that. Your videos with your alliance, that sort of thing. So, one of my more recent videos on Star Trek was about like an overview of the ships, on the earlier ships, talking about where you don't waste your resources, where you do, and kind of understanding, because we get a lot of questions on the streams about what should I do and what should I invest in this ship versus that ship, that sort of thing. And depending on the level, as you get later on, it's like the little, some of the ships you don't want to build them up too much, or you definitely don't want to stretch on them. All right, so that one's repairing. We've got, let's kill some exchange and kind of go from there. So, see. The 3-star common ships, or you mean like level 32s versus 28s? I didn't cover them on my video, Kumari, but wish I still had the ore from. Yes, exactly. It's that exact kind of concept we were talking about in the video. I cut it off the video because as far as the beginning, I went through level 27, which covers the Stella, just because it was there, and I wanted to stop with the 28s because I'm like, before the 28s, there's a pathway on the ships, and then after the 28s, there's a different pathway. I mean, and you really are starting to skip ships, or considering that you're having to really conserve resources because of those same reasons, like you're saying, the Kamari and the Bortus and all that stuff. I talk a lot about the 3 that we get in the 20s every 2 levels. Yeah, things just change at 28, but is like, kind of what we'd call like a developmental perspective on the ships, on the earlier ships. It's like, can you kill the hostiles you need to kill? Are you generally able to do the level equivalent PvP that you're trying to do with your ship before 28, that is? If the answer is yeah, but of course I could be stronger, it's like, well, save the resources because, there's a new ship coming. There's always a new ship coming, in those earlier levels. So, getting somewhere in that tier, I was saying like tier 4, 5, or 6, kind of depending on where you're, and you may have to go higher than 4, but just like, are you killing, your ops level equivalent hostiles? Are you getting your dailies done? Is the ship helping with what you need? Then you're good. If you're not, then you might want to beef it up, because later on you're going to want those resources for some of these other ships that you probably will keep longer or may return to even a bit, like when we talk about grinding around. I still grind around with the Bortus daily, the Bortus, the Saladin, and the Burrell. Those are my mainstays right now, while I wait to get the epic ships. And the Bortus actually does a ton of great stuff for me, and I know it's a bit underrated. I went ahead and maxed it out, and again, I use it every day. It does my faction hunting, it does my high-end stuff. So does my Burrell and my Saladin. I actually use my Saladin less than the Burrell and the Bortus. But that has to do with like just hostiles that I'm used to kind of grinding. When it comes to faction hunt, I'm using them all the time and all that. Saladin's still great and still useful, PvP, and can help with stuff. I use the Burrell and the Saladin for armadas and all that. Burrell is another. I took it to tier 5 and now I wish I had the gas back. Yes, no, the Burrell and the Enterprise is that whole piece. Yeah, it is. That whole piece comes in. So, the Burrell is actually a great ship, but if you are like, I want to move to my Enterprise ASAP, the Burrell is not the way to do that because of the gas. My Burrell I'm actually building up, but I went into the Burrell going, I am going full bore on the Burrell, and for its use to me now and in the short future, knowing that it means I'll be unlocking the Enterprise last of my epic ships. Is that the coolest thing? No. But I find I get so much use and have gotten so much use out of that Burrell since level 32 that it's been rewarding. Yeah, it's just the timing with the gas. So what I'm doing is I'm working on getting the Auger first and then the D4, and I'm finishing up my Burrell, and then I plan to and then I'll be working on the Enterprise. At this point, my Burrell's gotten fairly beefy. It's at tier 8. I am going to bring it to tier 9. What is it? Yeah, tier 8. Tier 8, I'm going to finish it up. It's because people don't usually see that. When I'm bringing it into some of the armadas and everything, people are like, whoa, what is that? They're like, what are you feeding that Burrell? So, but having fun, able to do some stuff, can hang with some of those, hang and outpower some of the earlier Enterprises, not later Enterprises for sure, but, just kind of gives me some hanging strength in armadas. And yeah, it's beefy. Yeah, and so you wish they moved the 3-star rare ships to 30 and the faction miners to 32. Yeah, no, yeah, I agree. I mean, having them a little earlier, Thought you'd use your Gladius and skip the D4 until I saw how fast my auger and grew in power. Yeah. Yeah. So you have the D4 now, harmonica, Luke? Assume. But, oh, I must have hit something. I accidentally sent the Burrell off after something when I was not looking. Anyway, but yeah, it's beefy. And that's part of, you know, part of the joy, but it's useful. Now that means I do not have the gas for the Enterprise, but again, that's a conscious decision. The Enterprise is way too cool though. Cool. I hope you enjoy that D4. I'm looking forward to that D4. I have the D7 skin. I got in, I think, one of the first, it must have been the first time the skin was in a leaderboard, and I just happened to be in the right bracket at the time, probably like 32, and I just happened to hit it. So I have so I'm waiting, and I love the look of that skin, so I think that'll be really nice with the D4. Come on, click on, oh no. You know, they made a change so that it's a lot harder to target hostiles on top of armadas and bases. So, but yeah. Here, repair that. I know I'm about to get another one. See here. But yeah, so beefy Burrell. I mean, it's again, it is a trade-off, and that's the whole thing. That's the whole thing with ships. I think it's much harder. It's harder to explain when I'm talking with folks who are earlier in the game. You know, if they're sitting at level 12 or 15, and they're like, it's hard to think. Oh well, when. You know, it's hard to think about resources that I'm going to want, my 3-star resources I'm going to need as I span up in the different levels, because it doesn't seem as big of a deal, I think, to people. And then so that's one of the reasons I made one of those videos about it. All right, let's look here. Ooh. We got some lag. Okay, we got 4 minutes on this. I might be in it. I'm going to have to repair after I get in that one. And then we'll go. Skin is amazing, especially because I look at it and occasionally think, oh, Abortus. And I send that. Yes. Yeah, no, that is a great possible thing to help. Exactly. Because I bet that's an unpleasant awareness when you realize that that it's not Abortus. So... And it looks really cool, so I do like a lot of the retro skins. I wish they were cheaper, but, you know, I wish a lot of things were cheap in the game. So, I certainly wouldn't mind some of those cosmetics. Yeah, a rude discovery. Yeah, I bet. Let's see here. All right. Well, Franklin is flying over there, and oh. So, look at what kind of minimal progress I'm making in this Apex piece, because I just want to get an idea. Killing these littles, obviously we haven't even hit the first one. 27, 210. I'm getting 340 points for doing it with the Stella. So I should be getting 550 points for the littlest one. Go pay attention to our banners and see if that's the case. This should be over 550 points. Let's see. Make sure it is working. 680. Okay, it is working. And again, I just need to, this one needs to just grind and get leveled up. I'm going to be scrapping it as soon as probably as soon as the arc starts on Tuesday, Wednesday. So I want to get it maxed out. Or maxed out to where I have it. I'm in the rares and green materials with it, and just getting it up as high as I can. Now that my other Stella is solely on the Epic Purple equipment, I can bring this one up higher and then scrap it. So I'll scrap it low, I'll scrap it in the middle, just kind of depending on where it is, and just rinse and repeat. It's a nice mechanism. So. Look at there. There we go. I am going to go refill my coffee cup, so I'm going to step away and let us watch what happens here with this Armada, and I should be back by about the time that happens. So be right back. Don't go nowhere. All right, I'm back. Thank you for hanging out. Let's see. I got destroyed. Catch up on chat in a second here. Looks like y'all are talking about cool stuff. Okay, move it. Move it. Alright, let's see. Harmonica Luke, your Stella scrapping has slowed down as my rogue rep went high. The epic uranium became expensive, and about yes, the epic. I'm hitting the epic uranium bottleneck. It took me a while to get that. Plus, I do get powered out of epics with my Stella, but I don't get powered out of rares and uncommons now. Not that helps me with epics. Got good 15 or so max Stella scraps at low rep. Prime, yes, I went ahead and did Prime Stella efficiency exactly. It makes such a big difference with that. Your Outlaw, your partner. What am I? Because I need to build it. I realize I'm a little lower than I need to be on this stuff. I'm an accomplice. So definitely trying to build that up. I'm going to be looking to grind Stella and be able to pull the chest like as often as I can, because I've not been doing that as much. I think while I focused on the Vidar and the Vidar and the Franklin and all that. So I'm going to put a little more effort into my Stella grinding. Yeah, great Prime. Yeah, research credits to get the rogue credit. Yeah, that Prime is just... It made such a big difference because then having the second Stella, the two is a 1-2 punch, because you can just start scrapping that little Stella and keep moving along the research, which just makes your other Stella better. That sort of thing. All right, we are back with the Franklin, so let's do that. Before I go kill my Franklin on a few, let's pull the away teams, and okay, I've got 5 hours, so I don't have to rush to catch something. Critical. And a critical. Good. Need those credits. I gotta buy, the auger and the D4. Just normal, but that was a junker one, I think, sent on purpose, so. I'm really trying to crit on these lead expedition ones, and I'm having to use the tribble a little bit, but I got 15%. I got the crit hit on this once, this at the end of like Friday or something. So those can help me with additional blueprints for the epic ship. So they're of more value to me than someone who already has their epic ship. Here. But as we keep going here. But yeah, I plan to work that Stella stuff more and hopefully see it start going up. And again, I gotta get the officer pulls for that, so they start including the purples, things like that for the events and everything. Yesterday's officer piece, I mean, I did it. I pulled the blues on the augment, and that helped. But, and I pulled some other random ones, which luckily gave me some rogue stuff, but I wasn't sure. And I really didn't want to have to fight for data, because I had just mined data during the night, because I was up, and I almost always need data, but don't feel like doing it. So, heroic and normal. You certainly did. It's gonna take me a little while. You beat me to it on there. Yeah, I know. With the 35s, with this Franklin, I have to send it a few times. I forget how many points I'm gonna need on this, but congrats to you. I like to bring all these different events, kind of even when I'm up and I'm on. I was running some armadas, I was running in armadas, but I didn't want to run some of my event activities because I know I'm going to do that on this stream. So let it sit for a little bit. Let's see here. And I'm still learning over here, but we do have some kinds of emotes over here on YouTube. Same as some of my custom emotes over there on Twitch, but we still have emotes over here. I imagine that stuff will all get improved as YouTube gaming works harder on giving us this full live stream experience that people are used to. Take a gander. If we're in, we might be in this. I mean, there's a lot of people here. Let's see. Then we'll go to another one. Need some epics. Nope, my ship is not active. I just want to make sure y'all are hearing the music. Oh, it sounds like yeah. Okay, sounds like the music is okay, and kind of run some of that. Music confirmed. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I have some different controls on this setup or I lack some controls I have on my other. I'm on server 34 for this one. I have a Forever 14 that I don't really play because it's Forever 14, and honestly, it's a little boring to just stay at 14. On server 32. I found that it was, especially because I play some other games and stream some other stuff too, it was harder for me to like maintain multiple accounts. Although I probably should bring that 14 up to 19 something, and then I can not have to worry too much about the shield maintenance, but all that. But here we're on server 34 for the main. Keeps me busy just trying to grind all their events, and then occasionally doing some stuff like whether I'm playing one of the Marvel games like Marvel Strike Force, or I do some streaming on Twitch and YouTube of like the New World MMO, so we do some other stuff. Yeah, it should be not the oldest, of course, because it's like not like 10 and all that, but yeah, one of the older ones. I've been playing. I'm not from the very beginning. I know the game we just had the 3-year anniversary. I've played about 2.5 years of it, so I didn't come in when it first started, but I found it soon after. Because the summer after it had started. So when I started hunting around for mobile games, had a lot of free time, and was like, oh, cool. Yeah, so just started. And then I just kind of purposefully slowed down. I also took about a 3-month break where I just kind of kept myself shielded and did some refining and didn't do much because I kind of got burnt out for a while, and then came back. And I think I came back about a year ago. And maybe, I think it's pushing a year, something like that. And I had been running an alliance, and there was some toxicity and stuff, and it was easy to get burnt out. So I took a break from the game and everything. Then I came back and I joined one of our most faithful friends that had been an ally to my alliance, and they had a spot for me when I came back, and it's been a lot of fun to be a worker bee in a nice big alliance, and we do some fun stuff on, we do well in events and things like that, and we have some territory capture wars and kind of get the full experience, which is nice. Not the top, You know, because a lot of folks in my alliance are not. Most of us either don't spend it all or spend a little bit. So it's you start seeing the people above us be people who spend a lot more. So, but we still get to hang and have some fun, which is a lot of nice, and we get good stuff for each other. You know, we rank in all the events and stuff like that. So it's great. What about, let's see. Charles, what are you on? What server are you at? Killing, keep killing. Alright, we hit the first Epic's Outlaw bit. It'll be faster when I'm not in the midst of these armadas with my other ship too, so. And then we may need to I may need to pull this Burrell in and start doing some big hostile grinding, but we'll get to that. Let's see. 44. Couple months. Yeah, probably so. Okay, cool. Yeah. Like isn't that server 10? Is that like the founder server? Whatever. Does that mean there's no server 1? I don't know. Not like I'm on it, so I haven't looked at those lists since we finally found out that they had names. You know. Oh. So, let's see if we're in this. Go Stella Power. Ops 38, rushing to get that speed up to finish cooking it before the battle pass starts. Oh, gotcha. Good luck. That's kind of rushing to make you think about spending, I would imagine. You know, right? Got one. Anytime I'm rushing or trying to stay in a leaderboard, that's where I definitely let's wait for a second. I'm in Gamma. Okay. Okay, we know. Yeah, well, I'm not gonna get there. If I had known where I was, it might have helped. Anyway, get this darn ship where it needs to go here. Form cluster. Go back in the email. Hi, Bird. 1 through 9 are dev testing, but that's it. Okay. Yeah, because I think 10 is the founder server. I think that's what I've seen in the past on YouTube and all that. So, but it does beg the question of what about you probably started with server 1 at some point. But it makes sense. Hopefully they test the game. They need to. So they probably need to test it some more. But all right, let's see here. Let's. All right. Certainly does. About 20k lat I can dump into speeding up if I need to finish, but man, I just like doing that. Yeah, no, I hear you. Like I said, you know, it's like whenever we have like an officer, it's usually the officer leaderboards where I would like the reward, you know, and I have a lot of stuff saved up because I don't know, I tend not to open any officers except when there's some kind of event, even if it's just one of the daily events where it's giving me a payout for the officers, and then I open them, and then leveling them up, that kind of thing. And so then suddenly I'll pull those in, and it'll be like, you're number 1, you know, you're number 1 in the first 3 hours or something like that, and I'm like, wow, I'm number 1. And then it's like, now I suddenly you know, I'm in the game here. I want to you know, I want to be able to keep that. So you know, it gets to that point where I want to you know, I want to add some stuff to it, and I'm like, although I don't expect to stay number 1, I usually watch, and then later on I start following, and I'm like, well, I would like to still finish and get a payout. You know, it's like the place. So that's where sometimes I'm like, sometimes I end up buying a little something from the store that boosts my officer pull just enough to kind of make it so that I have a better chance of finishing in the top 50 of something or whatever. Keep your lat for ship components. Yeah, that's what I mainly use it on. Sapphire coming in from Amsterdam. All right, lurking. No problem. Good to see you. Good to see you again. Oh, all right. Yes. Am I ready for the next arc? Well, I'm as ready as I can theoretically be, whatever that ends up meaning, because I'm ready for it. I know it's coming. We know it's coming on Tuesday. I'll be doing some, look for my YouTube videos, and I'll be breaking down the patch notes about the new arc. And if we get a new component, a new mechanic, I'll do a video about that too. Trying to look into that. And make sure we're aware of, because there's always something that makes it you got to be careful about, whether it be an exit comp or cloaking or this or that, you know, whether it be how much it actually costs, things like that. So yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm excited. So I'll be looking to make those videos, and of course I'll be streaming it on Twitch during the week, and then you know, coming here on Sundays, and then it's like, well, you know, you were in my Saturday morning Twitch stream yesterday. On Twitch there, so with Star Trek, so I'll be doing those. Ooh, this is one where we got the timing. Let's see here. Let's see. Charles, once I got my epic ships done, I just dump all the faction credits I get every day into officer recruits. Then when the SLB rolls around every 11 days, I cash them all in. Track the halls. Yeah, there's got to be a Christmas thing, for sure. You know, and looking at the arc and the timing, which kind of we talked about this in some of the recent streams, kind of predicting this would take the arc through the 28th, so it'll get it just past Christmas. So I expect we'll have special Christmas stuff, and then I would think during the downtime they'll probably do some special New Year's Eve and New Year's Day stuff. And it makes sense that they could do that outside of the arc, but then have finished, just like we finished strong with Thanksgiving for this last arc and all that. So I would expect something like that to happen. So yeah, I forget what all we did in Trek the Halls. So we did that last year, right? And the year before, I believe. So save for the arc. Yeah, I do the pulls for the faction officers and try to build those up, and then save for the arc. Yeah, I mean, that's I will do the double sometimes. It kind of depends. I think I didn't spend enough on my officers in my 20s, so I find myself playing catch up on various things, and so doing that. But I need to focus on my getting those epic ships unlocked and built. So I may do one at a time. I may just focus on the Romulans to get that auger unlocked, and like not buy officer shards, and just keep buying blueprints and all that. Once I get to 36, I've been saving all those Armada chests since probably Ops 30, so I can open them and see what lucky things I can get out of there if I'm lucky. Hopefully it won't be the one I've got. Samino, hello, welcome to the stream. Just having some fun here. We got a nice little stream going, nice little chat. Let's see here. All right. Back to swarming. And over there, I'm like, what is my swarm situation here? I'll spend credits on blueprints, Armada chests. You'll end up with enough blueprints to build 2 or 3 of each epic ship. Yeah, well, that's what that's why I've been trying to push myself to 36. I want to see how many I get. I have half of the blueprints for the auger, but I haven't opened the things, and I have very few for the other 2. And I'll be opening the rare and the epic ones when I hit 36, and all that. So, but I want to want to finish them off. But I am mostly tired of waiting. So let's see. Samino, kind of new to the game. Watch some of your videos. Yeah, thank you. Samino, I remember we talked in some of those. I did a ship overview video recently to kind of cover some of the earlier ones. You know, I think because you and others have asked various questions about some of the earlier games and kind of what to take into account. So I was putting some of that together. I'll also be doing some earlier officer redo videos and things. Doing that. Let's see. Harmonica Luke, you full pull Armada chest, but at 35 I accumulate more than I can spend. I can only spend 10k rare per day. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I need to do more Armadas. But yes. Understand being excited to get it out of the box. Yeah. 400k epic and 1.9 million rare Armada loot. I'm going to be upping that and focusing more on that as we get those. I've not been opening them, and even at 35, you know, it wouldn't hurt me horribly if I get faction miners, but I think they go away at 36. I've got the Antares already, and although the Antares is great, and I would like to have the other ones, and I'm sure I'll get them. They're such a crystal and gas sink, or whatever. I think crystal mainly, but there's such a sink on the resources that I'm going to focus on picking them up a little later. Let's see. You were about to give up in game until you came out with that video and made me want to keep trying. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I'm glad you didn't give up. Yeah, good. I'm glad that video was helpful. That's part of the point for you and for others, are looking at, because there's just different progressions, especially in the earlier phase, and all that. So don't get discouraged. And the truth is, you can always play. I'm playing catch up on certain pieces that I probably should have done in the 20s. But it works, and I get to make some progress and have some fun. It's not about being the first, because you're never going to be the first or the or the number one person on most things, unless you're spending a ton of money and have been playing for a long time too. So let's see. Can't hang on to rare Armadas. Haven't opened a box in over a week. Your alliance is very active, and so are you, Luke. Yes. Mine is very active too. They're doing them all. I need to, usually if I have my ships kitted out for doing various events and hostile grinds and different things or mining, then they're busy. So I don't always have a ship in reserve to send to Armadas and all that. Bev Talon, original Mud Crew vid. Yeah, I saw Rev's video on that. Yeah. It's Augur killing the heavy traders and Soul. Yeah, I saw that. It was nice. One thing I liked about it in particular, it was nice to see that concept of that Bev Captain thing. Let's see, because that's been a big thing for me lately, is that she's got some use there, and so that was kind of a nice highlight on that. In addition, let's see, Samino. One thing I was a bit lost, I saw you mention about stopping at 14, but I didn't see any videos on how to focus and how long I should stay at 14. Can you give me some insight on what to focus on? And yes, actually, that one's it's not that hard on that one. And Bev is super underrated. Yes, for the 14-15 thing. So when you hit 15, that's when you have to start shielding your base, and it can be rated, so you can lose resources. So one, you need to be ready to deal with that. If you do all your dailies, you'll get 24 hours of shields that you can use for free, and that's a cool thing. So you kind of have to be like, am I ready to deal with that crap? Because it's a PvP goes to a whole nother realm, because people are going to be attacking you, assuming you have something. But at 14, you stop, because you stop at 14 because you can't be attacked yet on your base. That is, your ships can be blown up, but not your base. And let's just get in one of these Armadas, assuming I can. Come on, baby. Load. Darn it. Hold on. Let me let you know there. I don't even know where the heck I am. Okay, we got to one. Okay, so Samino. So you cap at 14. It's good until you're ready. So you should always, it's going to take you like 7 days to get to 15 once you pull that trigger, but, something like that. And then, but be aware. And what you want to do is you want to make sure all of your buildings, every single building you have is is maxed out at 14. And we used to say max out all your research. That's probably still good. Max out any research that you can do at level 14. And it's like, because I think that's still going to be the first 2 trees, which makes sense. You know, because in the earlies, we used to talk about like building all your buildings and all your researches until you went to the next op level. That was before we had 5 or 6 research trees, back when we only had 2 in the game too. But it still makes some sense. So you want to build all that stuff up, and then also make sure you're just mentally ready, because you're going to have to be setting timers and remembering when your shield is, or not worrying about people raiding you and that kind of thing. Let's see. Let's see the Bev. Bev combining Kirk, Spock, and 5 and 1 officer. Yeah, I love her. I really like having her. Let's see. Samino, how likely will I get raided? I'm unable to do all the dailies every day, but I do what I can. What's considered valuable? It's like 300k of the resources a lot. No, like Harmonica's saying, you know, it wouldn't, but people in their 20s might. Yeah, I mean, your vault, it depends on how much more you have over your vault, over what you can keep. So you're able to keep a certain amount anyway, and they can't ever get it. It's not that much, but it's, you know, it's a certain amount. And it depends on the size of your vault. You'll be able to see that when you look at your different vaults in your base. So you'll know when you're over that. But they probably won't, you know, you probably won't get rated too much. And the truth is, once you get rated once, if they strip you down to that minimal level, you're actually safe. You're kind of free. You don't have to worry about shielding for a little while, because there's nothing to steal. And then you can build, and then later you can shield up and all that. So, but people will people will go around and find you. Somebody will, just to test, because they can. There's always somebody who's going to be looking for it, but you know, somebody, yeah, you'll have the 20s. Yeah, don't take it too hard. You'll get more resources. Get it back. Yes, you can raid someone else. You can do all that stuff. The truth is, I've been raided a few times. I mean, I went for over a year without ever getting attacked, because I didn't let my shield drop. And the first time it happened, I felt like the world ended, but it doesn't. And I've been raided and what we call vaulted, brought down to the vault in the last few months, once or twice, because like I fall asleep when I was supposed to set my alarm, and I fell asleep before set it renewing my shield, something like that. And I've come right back. Usually you can raid with some of your alliance mates, things like that. So get in a good alliance. That'll make a big difference for you. And then you're in a much better spot. Let's see. Because then you just start working your pumps. Make sure, you start, once you can do swarms, which will be a little later, you can start back stockpiling tokens for titanium and parsteel and dilithium, and those really help you get back up when you need to spend on something after you've been raided, things like that. But don't open tokens if don't open tokens unless you're going to spend them. Don't open them just to fill up your bank, because that just makes it so people can raid them later. Yeah, exactly. Your alliance, people will let you in, bigger folks in alliance, and then you'll suddenly get the stuff, because you don't lose like your thank God you don't lose your uncommon gas and crystal and ore. That would be bad. But you do lose the dilithium and the parsteel and the titanium. So, Charles, yeah, you got to get good. Next time, enjoyed it. I think we've all had a nice little chat. So thank you. Let's look here at this armada here. You hang in there, and I hope I'll see you on Twitch some as well, at least on Saturdays. Let's see here. But Sam, it's like pause at 14 and then just evaluate where you are. So that's probably a video I can make. Camping at 14. I've got the other account camped at 14, so it's probably a good one where I can explore that. That might be a nice one. Let me do that. I'll think about that as well. So, but happy to answer those questions here, and it looks like we got plenty of helpful people in the chat helping as well. Make sure you check the Twitch too, also, where I'm because I'm depending on if you are available when I'm streaming weeknights Star Trek, or Saturday mornings this time on Twitch. So that sort of thing. Let's see. All right, so let's figure out where we are on our swarm activity. Collect. Because I'm still just a little I haven't been doing Swarm Sunday very long, including the 35s. And I'm trying to remember. I think I try to grind these out quite a bit. We need 125 points, so I want to get... I'll kill the rest of them on Heroic on 35, so that's what we're looking. Alright. Checked on Twitch, I would think you stream there much later in the day. I do on the weekdays, but on Saturdays it's the same time as here. So sometimes as early as 9 a.m. Pacific, but 10-ish Pacific time. So yeah. But yeah, like I was on there yesterday morning. I started more at 10. 10 my time, 1 p.m. Eastern time US. So feel free to get on there and check that out too. But yeah, the others are Pacific time because I have a job. Until I make so much money from content creation that I can not work. Is not necessarily, who knows if that'll ever happen. But I gotta work, and so I can stream after work only on the weekdays. But when I have holidays and breaks and stuff, I do. And I am planning to take some extra time off around between Christmas and New Year's. So I will have some daytime, what's daytime for me streams on Twitch and stuff during that week. So that's not too far from now. That way we can catch some more people as well. But I will continue to make videos as well about some of these topics. So I'm trying to make more and more videos about some of the earlier tips and things, a lot of questions that people have about the game, because it is a confusing game, or it can be confusing. Let me see, make sure I'm in an armada. See, I wasn't. I want to be in one. Let me in. Anyway, I remember even when I played with content creators from like Marvel Strike Force and all that, and we talk because they're both Scopely games, so we talk about Star Trek, and they were like, "Oh, remember that game? We couldn't figure out heads or tails of that." And I mean, it is confusing compared to some of the others. But yeah, I'll keep making videos, and I'm gonna make some stuff about the officers and maybe some of the camping. 14 camping is probably a good one for me to make at this point. And since I have an account there too, it's be really not easy for me to show that stuff a little, and that'll be cool. Always helps. As I learned, like if you saw my swarm changes video from 34 to 35 ops, things like that came out not too long ago. Different things, getting information from people. Once people go past it, it sometimes becomes hard for anyone to remember when exactly a change happens and what changes at each ops level, unless it's formulaic. Like your hostile hunters have to do with what level you are, ops, and all that stuff in your dailies. But some of this other stuff is a little more confusing. So, anyway. See here. Plus, what is tradition on Sundays? I usually on Sundays I'm going to be I live stream here on YouTube with Star Trek Fleet Command, and then we usually do a bonus stream on Twitch. So I stream on Twitch every day. So even on a day like today when I live stream here on YouTube. So, but we're gonna I'll switch over and I'll be doing the New World MMO. So completely different game, completely different genre, and all that. But we play, usually do some afternoon stuff, have an afternoon beer, my time afternoon, on Sunday. You guys, like Friday nights, it's late for you guys, but I do my cocktail stream and we have shake up a cocktail on there and start the weekend off, that kind of thing. Play some Star Trek, but again, the timing's going to be weird for a lot of people. But come check out, we'll be doing some New World stuff later on Twitch. But I'm not done here. I'm still cranking away on Star Trek, so having fun here. Let's see. Am I supposed to be using just the gray and green officers for basically the foreseeable future? Because I don't seem to ever pull much blues and basically no purple ones. Yes, at your level, yes. You're going to get them the blue, the 3 blue miners you will get them from, you'll slowly start unlocking them as you pull the gray and green ones in your standard recruit package. So, and because those are the ones that you'll get first, the blue, and the purples you'll get later as you move into the faction territory. But that, and that starts kicking in. I think 14-ish is about the earliest that you can get it, because that's, I think, where, and you have to, but you have to do a lot at 14. Like my Forever 14 struggles because it's very hard to get some of the stuff that you need. But like once you get 14, 15, 16, stuff like that, you'll start being able to unlock Kirk and Spock and Bones and all that, and Nero and Gorkon and all that. You'll start getting them because it's once you get faction credits, and you don't, it's like the first 14 levels of operations in the game are really about kind of getting used to how a lot of the basics of the game work. And then once you go to 15 to 20 starts bringing you into opening up the faction components and things like the Swarm and other events. And then it kicks up again in the 20s and starts adding in further events and into the 30s. And goes on beyond me. I mean, I'm only 35 right now, but I know it goes up and does some special stuff around 39 to 45 and stuff. And who knows what they're going to go to, what all they got going on. But yes, those gray and green officers will be very useful. And again, when we talk about, like, if you look here, there is Talon, one of the gray officers that we talked about before. Everyone uses her for the rest of their life. So you're just going to get her before you get these other people. And that's okay. And same thing with Chen, who's the green one from the same grouping. Everyone uses her for the rest of their life. We actually want them to make some twins of those two, so we have more. And I'll do some alternates. When I do, I'm going to do an early hostile video, hostile grinding video that'll include, of course, the Talon and Chen, but also talking about what you can do as kind of, if you're pressed for some reason, like you've sent them away on a long away team mission, you can't get them back. What are you doing to grind hostiles? Because I end up doing that when I'm trying to do 4 ships, grinding hostiles at the same time. So you gotta, once you get past 2, you gotta figure out what you're doing beyond Talon and Chen. There we go. Helps. See where we're at. But again, Sam, that's just part of the progression of the game, is that, you can't get some of the top stuff unless you're willing to spend money. And even then, they only sell you certain things based on what level you're at. And they sell you more things as you get closer because you can take more advantage of them. And so it's okay. You want to use the stuff that's kind of meant for you to be using. And also the people that you're playing against are using some of the same stuff, with a few variations based on how much they've spent. But that's okay, because relative to other people, you're more similar. So it's not like they're going to be heads and tails above you unless they're just spending a lot of money, which some people will. But you can't keep up with them. You shouldn't try unless you're planning to just keep spending forever. Let's see. Also struggling with trying to find spots to find 2-star ore because I am based near Riza. Oh. Well, let me give you. Now, Riza's down. Sorry. All right, I'm just gonna get this going because there's. Oh, well, let me find Risa. I can move this. I'm like, there's a way to find. How do I do that again? There, it's there. Hell, I do this all the time. Like, I'll find Risa. I'm like, I remember Risa, but where is it? Oh yeah, level 7. Okay. Yeah, you're gonna. It'll make sense to move a little bit out of here once you're depending on your level. Let's see, because you're not going to find that ore until you get into right over. Where is that crap? I'm just like looking. I'm like, oh, do I have to dig up my other one? Here. Sorry, the screen. You're gonna find it in these bigger systems. No, sorry, I'm getting very confused about where I am. Let me go get it. They keep offering me. Oh yeah, the jellyfish is great. I talked about that in the ship event. But you don't have to. Oh wait, don't attack that. I want to go to the damn armada. Let's see here. Yeah, the jellyfish is great, but only if you want to spend, and you can do other things. I mean, people will attack you with the jellyfish, and you won't be able to beat them, but that's okay. Let me go help Durcott grind some of this stuff with him. Let's see. Okay. Everything out of your warp range. Yeah. I'm gonna try to load this. I'm having trouble on this system showing the system, but I'm pulling up my other account, so then I can show you. But yeah, the jellyfish is cool, and you do get some opportunities, I think, during the ARC store events to like buy those blueprints. So you might want to do that. I know I earned it for free on my 14. After a while, I kept waiting for them to sell it to me, and they wouldn't. Sorry, you can hear BlueStacks is on, dinging with like mad abandon about all my games over there. I can bring up the Star Trek and show you, or I can try to show you. That's true, or at least I can look. But because I'm like, sorry, I'm just struggling with the systems because find the old stuff on the big thing. Go away, little things. Oh, no problem. You probably haven't seen the ARC store. It comes at the end of a storyline arc. So after multiple arcs, we're about to get ready for the next arc. Right now we're in the duality part 2 arc. Well, we're expecting like part 3. And then that's arc. And periodically, as they get to the end, like depending on how many of the 3-week cycles of arcs they're going to have, they usually have a store at the end that has some special stuff you can buy, and it's some good stuff, and you'll want it. But they don't happen very often. So with the Next Generation arc that wrapped up before this last one, it went for 5 times. I think it ran 5 times with 5 times 3 weeks with breaks with weeks in between. And then we got the ARC store at the end. So that was many months before we got the store. And you get some stuff that way. But I forget a little bit on that because it's been a while. And I got it. Yeah, talk about the jellyfish in that ship overview video that I've got out there. But I will show you some stuff once I can figure out what in the world, why the early space is hiding from me on the scroll. So I'm just hoping as long as it doesn't drop frames, I'm doing that, which I'm happy to. I'm looking on the other side here. No, it's not a real money store. It's like in-game currency stuff that you'll have earned, and you'll have the ability to earn while doing some of the events during the arc. So it's cool stuff. It's the free-to-play stuff, which is nice. You want it. Let's see what. I'm in one of these stations. I'm just looking for where I'm at. And it'll depend on your warp range. Okay, there, I know where I am at now. So now I'm gonna blow up here. And then I can check. Once I can look at that system. Okay, that prepare. I believe this is where my ship is. Where's Gra? It would help if it actually... Is it like centered here? Where is it? Is that it? Jesus. There it is. I'm in that system right now. So off the hub of Midnight 19. This might be Yeah, the blue ships are real people. Purple ships are real people who are in your alliance. Red ships are hostiles, so that's the computer. Yellow ships are special, like elite hostiles and bosses of sorts and all that. So I'm in here midnight 19. That's probably a little high for you on there, but this is where you can see this. We got there on 17. Here's where the 2-star ore is. Here's some 2-star gas. There's some 2-star ore at this 15 at Geneva. And here's one on 14 at Debon. So they're grouped together. So if you can't reach them, you don't need to worry about them yet. But I would move my base a little closer, and then see if that helps. Plus, you use Scotty. Use Cadet Scotty that you'll have, because if you put him on as an officer on the bridge, he gives you like three more warp ranges, so you may be able to reach a place you couldn't reach before, at least with that one ship. So let's see here. Yes, all those blue people are other players, and purple's my friends. Yeah, you just got to do one mission for the range. Yes, exactly. You will use him a lot in the teens and 20s, in order to stretch to reach something, maybe to mine something further than what you're used to being at. Oh, let's see if we should solo this or duo this, right? I hope so. Okay, good. Okay, good. Confused. Why are the cadet and the next generation seem like duplicates? Well, they are. They're copies. Yeah. They're new releases because it's more like let's call it a reboot of the game. The cadets were come out when the game first came out, and now the next generation grays are like that. Yeah, players will kill you when you mine. You cannot mine over your protected cargo, or else everyone will have fun killing you, especially at low levels. Plus, there's just jerks at the low levels testing out stuff, so they'll kill you. You can mine, but you generally expect to die. But just mine to your protected cargo limit and return, and work it out from there. And that'll be the best. That's the best way to do it. When you get bait. Had to get the dog going in the crate. The FedEx guy's gonna drop something off. But yes, actually, it's kind of nice with the next generation officers that have just come in the last few months, because it gives us sort of duplicate options. So it gives you some more chances to do stuff, which is nice. You need that. So do I focus on the cadets or the next? You focus on both. Sorry, there's my dog. He really doesn't. And okay, I'm just making sure I didn't have to go sign for something. You're gonna focus on whichever one you're gonna work on them both, because you're gonna use them. I use them both still to this day, so it'll be fine. And you can't really choose. I mean, you can't. You're gonna be based on what you get when you pull the officers. So, and that's random. So you don't know who you're gonna get first. And you're gonna use them both. And later on, you're gonna have more ships, so you're gonna need more crews. So you're gonna want having them. I use LaForge as a captain, and I use Cadet Uhura as a captain. I use them both, and I use them. We'll sort of be using them today soon. So let me see. Because there are going to be times where you're running more than one ship trying to do the same thing in different areas, trying to hit hostiles or whatever. And those are all for hostile grinding, but not for PvPing and stuff. And you don't really have, until you get a few other officers, you won't really have the PvP stuff. But if you check that officer video, it talks about the early PvP people that you will get, the greens. They're good in the beginning. Until you get better officers, But actually, Cadet Uhura and LaForge, they're going to be good. You're going to have a use for them always, really. Okay, let's figure out what we're doing here. Let's see. Threat from beyond. 45 points. And then I'll keep finishing that. And Outlaw just needs plenty, so let's get this free. I'll be able to show some of that here. Let's go, let's see. Right. Get this shit flying and then catch up on chat and we can do some more. Almost done with these 35s. And we'll finish up with the 32s. So let's see. In fact, I'm gonna flip officers over here and I think to answer something. I think I was a bit confused with the ship video you made. I am not so sure how much resources and level I should put in my ships. Depends on the ship. Tell you what levels I put my ships in. Maybe you can tell me if I'm fine or I should put more levels in them. Well, it depends. And again, like we were talking about in some of the videos, some of it is, are you able to kill the things you're supposed to be killing? If you're like trying to kill the things and you can't, then your ship might be weak. If you're, of course, your officers play a role in that too. But if you're doing fine, and then you're okay. You know, so especially because what level are you again? Are you? Sounds like you were. Are you like 14 or And then, because then you don't need to worry too much about those ships, because they're gonna get replaced really quickly, and as you move up, unless you're camping. And the truth is, you can actually put some resources in those 2-star ships without too much worry. Let's see here. Let's look at this ship and let's change out to a pure hostile grinding. You're 14, yeah, right. So you've got the Tala and the Fendra. Is it Fendra? The Interceptor. I always get that little. And you've got your battleship and all that. So the Fendra and the other ships, kind of, yeah, you're going to get them fast, and you're going to get some more ships when you move up. That was what part of the point of the video is, like, there's some more ships coming. So, you know, and they're going to replace some stuff. Those 3, you know, you build them up so that you can kill if you're killing level 14 and 15 and maybe 16 hostiles with those ships, and you're like able to kill a good number of them when you go out before you have to blow up and repair, then you're good. If you're camping at 14 and you're going to do a lot of PvP, you're going to want to build one of those ships up really high so you can beat other people who have done the same thing. It's tier 2. Yeah, you'll build it up more than tier 2. Like I think I said, in most of them, it's probably tier 4, 5, or 6 is probably in there. It's just you don't want to go to the max that you can do. All right, Luke says, they are all sort of valid choices of different playstyles. You can choose how long you chill at a level and become stronger. You have the patience. Yes. Yeah, Luke, thank you. That's it's a real good point, because if you're going to camp and you're going to hang out, you know, you're going to make your ships are probably going to get bigger because you don't have something else to spend them on, and you want to dominate at your level. But if you're trying to move faster, then you just need to get the next one and save up. That's true. Let's move some ships. Let's see what groupings we have. So we'll use the next generation stuff. So I'm going to use LaForge as my captain, and I'm going to put Crusher on the side to boost him, and I'm going to give Troy on here. I will give Troy, but let's make sure I don't have Chen. I think I have Chen sitting around somewhere, so that would be the difference. Yeah, Chen's around, so we'll use Chen. She's the best. So, all right, there we go. And then let's give them some help. Fortunate. Well, if you're gonna stay at 14, I mean, it's okay to build them up. You're gonna, yeah. As soon as you get the Envoy at 16, you will never touch the Fortunates again, unless you're using them later on for PvP in your 30s and stuff, for certain tactics. So it just needs, just so you can mine stuff while you wait. Yeah, the envoys are going to be a big deal. You're going to use them a lot when you get them. I think it talks about that a little bit in the video as well. Let's see here. So I'm just putting stuff below decks. But you can see these are the officers that you're going to have, and so putting them there. Yes, get all your buildings to 14 before you. I'm not sure how long that will take. Right. Well, you'll find out as you move through that. I mean, if you want to buy a second builder queue, then you can build 2 at a time. But you don't have to. Yeah, research. Yeah, you want your research up to snuff, and again, your research you'll get a point where there's a research you want, and it says your ops level must be 15 or 16, and you'll know that they're starting to get to you're capped on that area. Let me just see here. But work on those. Work on research. So let me get in an armada, and then we can. But that's the general principle for moving up, and I wouldn't move to 15 until I'd done a lot of my research in all my buildings. Personally, because the truth is, the less you do that you could have done at 14 when you go to 15, the weaker of 15 you'll be. The weaker you are, the easier pickings you are for people who want to hit you or that you're competing with. So it's just be aware of that. And that kind of continues on later. So there are times where you camp and group because you don't, you want to be as strong as you can, or you want to take your time and save up resources so you can do stuff. And that continues throughout the game. Because later on, in some places, you'll be expected to have done some researches or different things. And people, there's some things, when people mine Latinum and all that, if they're not mining the fast Latinum, a lot of times, I mean, there was, for a while, we're like, hey, we just don't, we didn't have tolerance for people who weren't doing the fast Latinum mining stuff. So we just killed them and moved them on. Say, sorry, do your research, and then we'll, you can get a seat at the table, that kind of thing. But let's see here. But yes, buildings and research. That's what you definitely want to do that. There's like no question that that's what you want to do at 14. Because it's nice, because then, 15 and 16, I'd make myself strong at 15 and then go to 16. Then you're going to get the envoy. That'll be good because then you can start doing some more serious mining, which will help you, and you'll see what ships are coming next and that kind of thing. Let's see, we're about, how many more? Threat from Beyond. I'm doing it with these 35s. Oh, no, okay. Let's see here. But yeah, you definitely want to do that and build up. You don't want to be, you don't want people, you want to be able to put up a good fight against people, and in the beginning, as you raise your level, it opens up higher and higher levels of people who can attack you. Later on, like at my level, I think most everyone can attack me, so I don't have a chance. So, but in the beginning, you kind of, as you raise level, it allows higher and higher people to come down and smack you for PvP, or to raid your base, essentially, because base raiding is part of how people get resources. So you don't want to be the weakest link at that level, because it's gonna be harder to deal with that. Let's see. Research and building lasts forever. No concerns about if you will move past them like the fortunate. Yes, exactly. Only reason to hold back is saving for other things like leaderboards. Yes, which will matter, because like if probably in the, usually that's a two ops level ranking, and then you can win some things. So you can win stuff that you wouldn't win when you are going to the next one. All right, we got our heroics done now. So now we should be able to move over to the 32 area here. Do they have leaderboards for 1 and 2 ops? Something tells, I'm like, could they really? Probably not. Let's see here. So we just need to attack basic swarm clusters. So we'll go to 32. But and am I still in? Did I miss out? Let's see. Midge is too high for me, really, anyway. So let me go over where people are more likely to. Good. It said he started one there. Jesus. All right. Sweet Jesus on the lag here. All right. All right, stop moving. Okay. All right. Can we join? Good. There we go. So I want level 14 hostiles. How low level system possible can I find them in? Because I can't reach level 14 system. 13. Well, 12 actually. A level. Every system, barring specialty systems like Swarm and all that, which you don't have to worry about. Like if a level 12 system, it'll have. Well, no, sorry. A level 13 system, it'll have one level below it and one level above it in its hostiles. So you need a level 13 system to get level 14 hostiles. They'll be in there. And of course, 14s will have it, but 13. A 12 will have 11s, 12s, and 13s. But, you know, if you're finding that you need 14s, you can't get there no matter what and all that, that probably means your ships need to be built up because your warp range will increase as you tier up some of those ships. And even, it may only be one ship, like, oh, this is my best ship for doing that, you know, and you get that. So you need to tier it up. So, and it won't matter as much in these early ships. Again, once you get the other ship, you go, oh, this other ship's so much better, then you'll kind of know, let me move to it. But that's part of how it works. So the systems I'm in here doing Swarm, they don't follow that rule. But trying to understand how system clusters work, how they're arranged. Well, there's a hub system in the center, and then the spokes of the wheel go off, and I don't know if they work so much. I mean, they're just there. I mean, there's some travel abilities that kind of work in there, but it's more of just kind of, they're always going to be similar level and grouped together. I don't know that there's a ton to them, to tell you the truth. I'm trying to think. I don't think there's a particular mechanic aside from stuff in deep space later that I don't think there's as much that matters. Defend your tourists now, and like I said, with the tourists, like I said, if you're doing a jellyfish, ignore the tourists. But if you're not doing a jellyfish, then that's fine. They all have their uses because of the battle triangle. You're going to be killing hostiles of different kind, and each one is weak to a different type of hostile and strong against another one. So it makes sense to have them a little bit built up. I was building them all except the tourists, because I went and got the jellyfish. And I focused on that instead because it's an explorer, just like the tourist. And you have that battleship. The name of that battleship. That's why I had to get it out in the video, because I'm like, the Fendra. Is it the Tala? I think so. So they're all useful, but under 14, the next grouping of 3 will make a little bit more difference too, but that'll be later on. So the Fendras are nice, interceptors are good for blowing up battleships, and they're fast, and so they have kind of a nice thing for some PvP, some low level PvP stuff, but they all do. The tourists is out there gonna go running around beating up the Fendra because the explorers beat up interceptors. I think that'll be part of what I do in some of my beginner hostile video, which I'll be making soon. as well is kind of focused, because that battle triangle is, yeah, talent. You want to get that. But get all 3 of those. Start building them up. They take slightly different materials because of their types, so that helps as well. But yeah, at those levels, get all the ships that you can get. Except maybe the ones that you have to spend money on if you don't want to spend. So, okay, let's find a better... Where is... Like, I need a spot where I can just grind a little bit. You can't do any base rating until you're at least 15 anyway, and then you can only rate, level 15 bases, things like that. So, you'll need the battleship for that if you are doing it. At least in part. And I research the research menu when something is already being researched. Buttons on them. You can't. You can only research one thing at a time unless you spend money to have two researches going at the same time. Same thing with building or ship repair. They sell for real money the second one, so you have to plan that out a little bit. If you know you want to do something short and something long, you may want to get the short one done first and then do the long one. Part of how they that's part of how you get encouraged to buy things or to use that's where you use your speed ups. Oh, how do you look at it? Gotcha. Okay. Go to your base. Go inside. This is the building that has research on it. You click on that, you got something researching, and you can click down here, this button that says research. And then you can see the tree. So then you'll see all the trees. You probably only have combat and station, I think. I don't know, maybe, I don't know what level. Galaxy may come at 20, I forget. So then you can see stuff. But you're right, otherwise the buttons don't let you in there. But so you have to go in here to the building inside and hit the research button. That should help you out. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the multiple research and build queues. Yeah, just can't research out. Yeah, that's right. You can see them, you just can't do them. I forget it, because when I started playing, they only had 2 trees, and then we got a 3rd tree, and we're like, wow, we have 3 trees, and then we got another tree, and we got another tree, so there we go. Got our swarmage. Swarm dailies are, I think, now all officially done, except for the one I can't do. Yep. Okay. Those. And we need some more threat from beyond. We're 23 more, and we're good with this part. But this ship, yeah, no problems. I mean, so research for the talent starts right now. Yeah, you should be right around. Yeah, because I have it on my 14. I have it unlocked. So get those. Said you want everything you can do. You should be doing. So that means you should also be able to build the talent. You don't want to go to 16, 15 before you've got all the ships built, and that kind of thing. So all those things. It's like there's other stuff you just can't do, and you see. Research in buildings, like Luke said earlier in the chat, research in buildings don't ever go away, and they, you never lose them. Ships, you move on. So in some ways, your buildings and your research are even more important. Your combat and your station abilities, those are super important. But you're going to be working on different things. Since you can work on a building and a research and a ship at the same time. It makes sense. If that makes sense. But these ships, you are going to replace these ships. I mean, we replace almost all the ships, but to some degree. But yeah, you want to build them up so you can do the. If you're like, wow, I can't reach these level 14 hostiles, and that's what I need for my dailies, then boost your ships so that they can do that. Get that warp range up. And make use of Cadet Scotty to help a bit there too. once you're like, well, I can do what I need to do, and then you may not need to level something up. You might get to work on something else. At that point, extra spending is just, you may enjoy it and it may be worth it. Like we talked about early in the stream, my Burrell is a lot beefier than most people's Burrells, or people skip the Burrell, and I have a beefy Burrell and it's going to get a little beefier. But that's a choice, and I am eating into resources that will affect my, my future enterprise. So you should never do that unless you know you're doing it and you're doing it on purpose. So most people would probably choose the enterprise. I thought about it, and I'm like, it's gonna be a while before I get that enterprise, and I can live with that. So I'll buy a t-shirt that has the enterprise on it, and I'll wear it on stream while I don't have an enterprise. Part of what I'll do. There you go. So go, and let's just good. I'm finally getting a spot. I'm not having to hunt around for the swarm. Come on now. Clear that screen. Give me one thing. Power still generator says production halted. Warehouse is full. Yeah, you empty it by spending the power steel on ships and buildings and research. And then so you're just at max. The only other way is to increase the level of the vault. So if the vault's at 14, then it's as high as it can go for your level. And then it won't generate until you drop below that. But you will get rewards that pay out in your dailies and other things. Will get more par steel, and that'll raise you up, so your par steel will go up above whatever that number was. But when you get rated, or when you make a big spend on a building and it drops below, then your pumps will start churning out par steel again. So same thing with all three of those types of generators. But so usually, like when you go into like my base, there's never anything to click on unless I've been raided or I spent a whole bunch during some event where I was burning through resources. So you're fine. And it's so everything above that vault thing is typically more what they'll raid from you. The extra. So if you go out and mine a lot of dilithium, you could go mine par steel and get more, and you'd be bringing it in. And then that's kind of the rating, the materials that can be rated. You'll need them. It becomes clearer, I think, later on in the 20s and higher because you're using so much of it for those upgrades. It costs so much. And I think it costs even way more as when I get higher level, I'm going to be like, wow, I remember when it was cheap for where I was in the 30s. So I know it takes a ton of par steel on some things later on. Ship's got a little sliver. I'm like, oh wait, did we get it? We did! Okay, Threat from Beyond is done. I think there's a... That means we can recall. Luke, I'm way behind you, but I'm done. See here. Alright. Now, in some ways I'm wasting time sitting in these armadas. I mean, not really, but it's definitely not speeding me through what I'm trying to do. Go here with everyone else. Okay. I know, Luke. This one took extra long. I mean, I think it's... took super long this time. So, yes, I am on the PC client. So, now that they finally... now that they got some of the bugs worked out of it, it's honestly... I like it a lot better. Better than BlueStacks and Ooh, that doesn't look. Ah. Anyway, okay, let's look at this. Now we can kill some of these guys and take a peek. But yeah, PC client. If you're playing on PC and it makes sense. Font and everything way too small for eyes compared to the Android version. Is that on BlueStacks? You can adjust some of that stuff in the settings, but so let's see. Oh yeah, my shield. Don't come attack me, Luke. My shield's gonna drop soon. Oh. R. Yeah, like you can't see it on my screen. I'm actually playing with this in a window. The game's in a window instead of being maximized on my screen because it kind of gets a little too big on larger resolutions and stuff. So, and I'm doing, I think, the 1920. What am I doing? Settings. 10-minute chess. I'm doing the 1920 1080 1081, so changing versus native resolution and all that. So 10-minute chess. Well, they're free stuff. There's a little, you can always skip them. They'll just always be there. But you're getting little bits of stuff. But they're every 10 minutes, so they're not that big a deal. Not like the 4-hour chests where you want to get those as fast as possible so you can get 3 of them in a day and get your dailies. Alright. So see, I'm using LaForge, Crusher, and then Chen here, and, we're just knocking through these guys. They're not hard. See where our counts are at 12.9 thousand. And my data, got enough data to do some polls here. Just check that plant. We aren't. Yeah. No, I didn't think so. So you can't raid me yet. You miss out on my. I'm down to 1.7 billion par steel. So, the message for you, Samino, is you can never have enough par steel because it helps with your base defense later on. So, in a weird way. So. It'd be so bad if they didn't take me another window to open it. Should just open. Well, yeah, all the nested windows. That's like when drives me a little nuts trying to open all the different, checking back and forth on the events when the events are a little confusing and I have to double check because I'm always trying to do. When I'm not getting beat by Harmonica Luke on completing my events, I'm trying to look at how to most efficiently kill 2 events with 1 ship, and work on things that are supporting me in this, at the same time. So part of what I try to do. Gotta get this ship going. I'm happy to be sitting. Let's see. I'm happy to be doing these armadas with folks because they're wonderful. But at the same time, I'm like, I need to get this ship running and killing some exchange modas. But I don't really want to miss out on the Mata dance. Really play? No, I do spend. I do spend some, not a lot, but some, on the game. Happy to spend on it. Or the things that I think are worthwhile. There's plenty of stuff that's not worth buying, and then there's some stuff that might be worth buying depending on of course, your budget. Though, if you have the budget, then But for me, it's like just because if I have the money doesn't mean I'm going to spend it on something that I think is crap. But the way I've been describing myself lately is like I spend a bit on some stuff that I think are worth it, but play as if I am free to play, if that makes any sense. Like, so once I'm like, okay, I bought this, I'm gonna get good things. Well, Semino, there are, and it kind of depends on your minimal. No, in low levels, you know, your prime researches, like the first prime research that comes up for you is like $5. Now later on, you get to my level and beyond, they're like $100. But the first one's like $5, $10, I think $20. The prime researches are good because those abilities and those boosts stay with you forever. They're probably worth buying. At least some of those primes are. Certain ships are worth it. It's also the battle pass. Every arc when the battle pass comes out, paying the $20 for the battle pass and completing and getting all those extra resources, that's a really good deal. It's worth it. But if you don't have the $20 or can't afford to spend it, it'll be when the event starts. It's gonna and it'll make more. The arc's gonna start on Tuesday, the new storyline, and so it'll have the stuff that you do every day to try to chip away at it, to earn things, and you'll unlock more resources if you spend the $20. I can't show it to you right now because it's not active until Tuesday. But if you spend the $20, you'll get prime damage. Yeah, read the description on that, and it should talk about what it does. You get the bonus, but yeah, and the bonus rewards on the thing, but on the prime, like prime damage, prime officers, things that boost officer stats are really good. Yeah, you got to do your dailies, or else you're wasting your money. Your dailies for the arc. That's how I was in. I was in the Discovery arc. If you remember the Discovery arc. I was halfway through that, and they had just been doing a few battle passes, and they were grindy, much grindier than they are now. They're much easier to complete now, and I was just like, I'd spend the $20 up front, which I don't recommend doing. I spend it closer to the end, just because of that. So I never felt like I was like, I've got to do this event that I hate because I need to get my battle pass. It made me hate doing some of that stuff. Let's see here. But yeah, if you look at those primes in there, like the prime damage, which boosts your ship's damage, there's a few different ones. I'd have to look on ship, and I don't have that one open yet. But I thought you guys would recommend getting the second builder and researcher before. Yeah, you can. It depends. If you're camping, I'll tell you what, if you're camping at 14, I mean, when you're camping, you don't. There are times where I don't need the builder or the researcher because I'm like, I'm done. Like when I camped at 34 for way longer than I really was happy doing, there was like, well, I can't do this. I don't have anything to build. So having two builders was meaningless at that point. So that's more about speed. I mean, I do have them. I have second repair. I have second builder and second researcher. But primes are really good. Certain ships are worth getting, like depending on if you're going to eat the jellyfish is really good in those teen levels, especially if you can get it. If you get it early, the jellyfish is good. Once you get, there's an event, if it's still out there, that at level 18, you can get a free jellyfish. By the time you get the jellyfish at 18, its impact is already gone. So it really matters when you're 14, 15, 16 for the jellyfish. Because that really helps you do better on things. And then at 18 for $20, the North Star comes out, and that is a phenomenal ship, and it's $20. And I still use it, although I don't use it for the same things. But it was my main ship once I got it and put the resources in it until eventually, like maybe the Voklis eventually eclipsed it in power. Or something like that. It took a while. So there's it's a max North Star, but I mean it helped and all that. So the spending on certain but spending in general on ships is usually not the best idea, but certain things might be worth it. Certain officers, and again, because they're RNG, I don't like to spend on some of that, but the prime researches, that really give you some lasting boosts. Those are nice. I buy some resources that, you know, come in like that help me do some stuff, but yeah, your primes are with you forever. I haven't bought all the primes. Won't necessarily buy all the primes, but kind of evaluate which ones. They do make a difference. Let's see. There's some minimum spend to unlock buying some of the higher things. Maybe Prime Officers doesn't appear until you spent $50 or so. Yeah. Yeah, all those. Yeah, and Prime Officers is well worth it. But of course, you can get that one for free later, and then you can get Prime Officers 2.0, not for free. And they're worth it. And now that we have like away teams and these other mechanics, no primes. You can get very few primes for free. I think that $5 one you can, which I think it just costs dilithium, but a lot of dilithium, so you can get it for free over time. But yeah. So but most primes cost money. There are some later on in the 30s that you can get, like Prime Officers is one of them that you can get for free by doing certain grindy activities, building up maxing out certain ships to scrap them and getting resources. But yeah, exactly what Luke's saying too. We're talking about the same thing here. But the majority of the primes that's a pay thing. So, but many of them are worth it. So, but you don't have to. You can still play the game, you know. But again, if you know, it depends on if you're in a battle against somebody, which depends on what you're doing. You know, it may make a difference. Depends on play style. If you're going up against somebody and their officers are just so much better, and you don't have those prime officers, they probably do. You know, so $10. You may have gotten the $5 one then, Amino. I think there was a $5 one that starts, and I think you can earn it for free with basic resources. I think that's what I did. And then the $10 one, I don't look at what it costs, because I don't think the materials that it costs. A lot of times it's a certain material that you can only buy in the store versus earn. But and the truth is, those things are priced out. You know, if it's like $10, well, it's $10, and there may be a way to get are you in is that Australian dollars? There, Luke. Yeah, because I know the pricing. They are more pricey than they are in the US. But I think they boost them. You know, they're not a 1-for-1. Well, it'll show in the research tree that you've already unlocked the prime. If you look at some of the early primes, it'll say. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I mean, I think in all these games they tend to they boost the price, and it's not an equivalent conversion rate, which is, you know, sucks for you guys. I originally thought that it would be, because I'm like, that's the only fair way, and it turns out that's not how they do it. So, not really fair. So then you got to make sure it's really worth it. I don't know if they're adding in currency conversion or something to US and different fees for that to justify that, or just saying, well, we think we can get away with making people spend more. So I'm not really sure. Because I think it's like a $99 pack is usually something like $129 or something, and a lot of the other currencies, which sucks. But some of them are still. But Prime Officers 2.0 still probably worth it, but not all of them maybe. If your Prime damage says max, you have it then. There you go. That's how you know you've got it. So you probably were able to get that one for free, because, like I said, I think that one's like just dilithium or something. And the other ones will have an unlock, and they'll encourage you to go to the store. So. Yeah, you like I said, I think that's the one that you can do for free if you just have a stockpile. I think I did it for free on my second account. 159.99. That is a sad face. That is major sad face. I'm finding sad faces here to share, commiserate with you, Luke. There you go. I think that's a bandaged, beat up, sad face. That might actually have more meaning anyway. Yeah, because also I've been looking at the pack prices like for these ships for the epics and stuff, which they are ridiculous. Hey, 5 minutes. Because to me it's like there's no way these ships are worth it. I mean, I know they're game changers, but it's only so much it can be worth it. Like, okay, what do we get? Some Apex hunting. So maybe because my account is really old, I tried this game when it came out and played it like 2 days back then. Maybe. Oh, no, you shouldn't have got Grand Theft. You probably just spent it by accident because it was something you could afford automatically with in-game resources and didn't realize that it was something that cost money. That's what I would guess. They do give some things for free, but they don't give much of anything for free. Those are in there honestly to encourage you to start spending, start being aware of the prime mechanic, and to start going, oh, it's probably worth that amount of money. Let me spend it, and to get you into the spending. Just like things start out at like $5 and then they go to 10 and then like 15 or 20 and then they jump up to 100 or more if you're in Australia and other places. So they kind of ramp you up on the spending. Like I don't think there's anything in my shop under $20, and anything for 20 is usually not worth it. So it's the $50 occasionally and the $100 where I'm like, is this one worth it? A lot of money. Okay, Apex Outlaw. Just trying to figure out where I'm at here. Halfway, got plenty of grinding to do. Some of that'll be done offline here. I'm ranked 24, people. Woohoo. Which doesn't mean anything because we got 2 days. I'm gonna have to run them all tomorrow, and tomorrow's gonna be a work day. Ooh. All right, let's see here. Also, let's open chest because we probably have armada bits. Just had them at some grinding events. Yeah. That's what I would think. It'll happen, but it won't be happening a lot in the future. Here, let's refine. I think that's the only one. And that first one is probably there again so that you can be like, "Oh, I can afford this one. I just had to like make sure I saved up." I think it was dilithium, And then the next one costs a little bit of money. Well, it's just a little bit of money. That other one was so good, and then you spend. And then the next one is like, well, it's just a little bit more. Then you're down the rabbit hole with us, and you're like, well, I only buy 6 $100 packs a month, in order to, but that because I'm on a budget. That's not what I do. I don't do that. Here, let's pull a big pull here. They train you to spend. They use social psychology and all that stuff. So, yay, psychology. But all these games do that. This game is a little more transparent. I mean, again, since I play and stream more than one. Oh, I meant to do more here. Let's see here. Rami credits. And yes, build these up. I'm gonna have to pull extra. Anyway. Platinum pull. Oh. Oh yeah, the Devore comes out, and the Devore is for sale. Is it worth? You know, it was only available for like $20 originally. I bought it. You can get. I got a second one for free, which is worth having 2 of those for the Platinum Mondays, or just whenever you're low on mats. Crying damage was 35,000 dilithium. Yeah, I remember it being a lot and having like, okay, let me raid people. You know, I went and found everybody mining dilithium who was OPL and hit them over and over again and all that stuff. Waited till I had enough tokens to cash that in, sort of thing. Okay, we gotta see. We gotta be in. Look at that lag. Oof, man. Okay, where? Tell me where the Armada is. No Armadas. Why? Okay. Shield is going. Oh, I don't really. I'm still gonna use little shields right now. So. All right, internet now knows I have an 8-hour shield. When Luke makes his server transfer, he can come try to bust my base in 8 hours. So here we go. But hopefully he won't. He'll have mercy, Luke. So let's see. There we go, Delta. Ugh. The lag is lag is a pain. Come on now, show the stupid flag. There we go. These are way too the time is too tight on these to actually be in that same situation. Thank you, Luke. So we used to have on some of these streams, we have Patty the Mick, who is on my server, and would hang out with me, and he'd help me, and he'd come to attack my Vidar to give me frequency modulators and things like that. But his ships were so much more powerful, I'd have to crew mine out with like the top PvP stuff I could have so I could survive, because his Franklin A or his Meridian would just blow me up. So we'd have to try several times. So that was always fun. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, so folks, I think we're at a spot here. So what I'm gonna, make sure you join over on Twitch. I'm gonna take a quick break, get a little lunch, and then I'm gonna be on Twitch. And the link is about to populate in a minute. Again over here. So I'll be on Twitch. I'm gonna play some New World. I might even be streaming a little bit of this because I'm gonna continue. That might actually be something to do as I continue to do that. But the YouTube live streams, we've been going for almost 2.5 hours over here on YouTube. So want to share some love, and we'll do some of our we've got a couple different mini games that we play when we're streaming on Twitch and all that stuff too. So I'm looking forward to that. But really having a lot of fun with you guys. I appreciate it. Jay, you've been here. I'm always here Sunday mornings, and feel free to come join me. Look forward to it. And then also, again, if this timing works for you, I am also on Twitch on Saturday mornings doing this. OBS is driving me mad, I must say. But anyway, I'm gonna go on there, so you'll always be able to catch me at least once a week on YouTube with Star Trek Fleet Command, and of course, this is where my videos go. So check those out. Make sure you give a like this stream, all right, and give it a thumbs up, that sort of thing, and then we'll go that way. Other people see it, and they'll check it out during the week. And then hope to see you on Twitch, and of course, I hope to just see you in the comments and on the live streams here on YouTube. So. We may even do more streams on here, but just gonna have to talk with the community and everything, so we can start branching out as we get there. No problem, Samino and Luke and everyone else, Charles, all the people who've been on here. I appreciate it. It's really fun hanging out with you guys as we go through the swarms and talk a little smack and share some common knowledge and wisdom here. All right, so get some ideas and look for those beginner videos. I'll be doing some on some officers and probably on 14 camping. Those are some things I can do in the near future too, so that'll be nice. I've also got a war battle that I'm editing. I need to sit down and do some editing on that. I've just been extra busy at work, so yeah, thank you. You know, I enjoyed it thoroughly, so thanks a lot. It really makes a Sunday morning really nice, so I appreciate it, and I hope to see you guys on Twitch as well. So anyway, I'll check you later, and I'll be on Twitch a little later today. So y'all take care, and CockADoodle.